how to avoid paying state income taxes on your retirement accounts, or as my chapter is titled, how to keep the governor out of your pocket as well as the IRS. Welcome to Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel, my friends, the place where you come to learn about my book, The Tax Bomb in Your Retirement Accounts, and how the Roth IRA helps you avoid it. So I'm kind of giving you the answer to the question of how to keep the good old governor out of you, from your state, out of your pocket. But just watch with me as I show you how to do this step by step. So if you like what you see here, don't forget to subscribe down below. Subscribe and then hit the bell to be notified for future content. We're doing a couple videos a day because it's addictive, man. If I did cocaine, this would be my cocaine. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. But if I did, I imagine this would be my crack addiction right here, the YouTube stuff. Because like I said, I got 20 years of stuff I've been wanting to tell people in my head about financial planning techniques. And when you're working for the big firm, the man, so to speak, you got to watch what you say. It's crazy, actually. I remember when I was working in my last firm, telling somebody they should think about a Roth conversion. You can't say that. You got to let their tax guy say that. It's like, this is crazy. I'm their financial advisor. I'm a certified financial planner. I got a master's degree in financial planning. You're telling me I can't say to somebody they need to be doing Roth conversions because they have no income? That's only the tax person. That'd be out of compliance. And it's not out of compliance. It's just out of fear because the big companies don't want to get sued, which is why and I don't know what they get sued for in that regard. Talking about Roth conversion, my goodness. But anyway, that's why the big firms, my friends, if you're doing full-fledged financial planning, Vanguard, Schwab, Fidelity, USAA, I don't know what other else is out there. Betterment. I was just looking at another website. I love all these guys, but they're not doing financial planning. All right. They're just not. They are absolutely not. They are not doing financial planning. They're doing investment management with a Monte Carlo scenario that says, will you run out of money based on these certain specifications? That's it. That's not financial planning. There's nothing wrong with that. But the thing that ticks me off is you look at their offerings, they say comprehensive financial planning. That's absolutely not comprehensive financial planning. That's absolutely not. And it bothers me because they shouldn't be saying that, because a lot of people go into these places thinking they're getting comprehensive financial planning just because they're getting some Monte Carlo analysis, and that's just not. And I tell you right now, I know for a fact, your Monte Carlo analysis is only contingent on how good it is only contingent on what they're putting in there for the software to run that analysis. Let's just say you worked at a firm that's giving you 6.5% rates of return on a 20 stock, 80% bonding investments. That's crazy talk. But you can show the Monte Carlo all day long that you're going to have never run out of money. And that's the thing. Do you know what's actually going into this software program? Now, that same firm, let's just say 6.5% of 20-80 stock bond ratio is giving you 4% cash. There's nothing out there that's giving you 4% cash. But that's what their Monte Carlo projections are based on. Same firm is giving you 10 to 11% of stocks. I mean, that may or may not come to fruition, but that's not Monte Carlo. That's blowing smoke, where, and it's going to make you feel good. But that's damaging. That's risky, and yet crazy. All right. Sorry about that. Just a thing. If you're looking for financial planning, look, I work for myself. I affiliate with a firm called XY Planning Network. I'm also part of the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors. Both these things are not firms. They're financial planning groups, organizations, lobbying, I guess. I don't even know what it'd be. And I'm also a member of the Financial Planning Association. But the NAPFA and XY Planning Network, you can only work for fee. You can either charge by the hour. You can charge by, whatever you want to charge. That's what you can do. You can't charge commissions. You can't sell stuff. You only do financial planning. I don't do managed money. I don't invest money for people at all. A lot of people do in those things. That's fine, but I don't do that. And a National Association of Personal Financial Planners, Personal Financial Advisors, and XY Planning Network. Then there's a third one called Garrett Financial Planning Network, and they charge by the hour as well, or by the financial plan. If you want comprehensive financial planning, yes, I am biased. Well, I join these because I am biased. You need to go to those firms right there. They will do financial planning for a fee. You know what you get. You're getting a financial plan for a fee, and inherently nothing wrong with that. But don't go to these big firms thinking you're getting financial planning, because you're just not. All right, enough of that. All right, so how to keep the governor out of your pocket. We're going to go to chapter 13 of my book. And don't forget, you can always get this still If you go to my website, heritagewealthplanning.com, you'll see the pop-up, and you can get the PDF of this for free. It's always free on Kindle Unlimited, at least until Amazon does something differently. I don't know when that would be, but it's always free on Kindle Unlimited. And for Kindle, just regular Kindle, is $4.49. If you don't say $4.49 in taxes, man, just you tell me that I'm the worst guy in the world. I don't know how you cannot say $4.49 in taxes with this book. And of course, the soft cover, the paperback is $5.99. All right, so let's talk. All right, enough of me yapping here. I drank a cup of coffee. Maybe I'm fired up. Too much caffeine, but whatever. All right, so if you live in one of the 9 states in the U.S. with no income tax, you can skip this section. I'm telling you, don't. And you might not want to for a couple of reasons. One, they incorporate an income tax at some point. Washington State, my friends, was a 2013 or 12 Bill Gates Sr., all right, all these rich guys, they wanted Washington State to incorporate an income tax. And it looked like it was going to pass, but the good citizens of Washington said, no. Now, ironically, Bill Gates Sr. never actually donated more money. He could have easily raised more taxes, paid more taxes. Weird how they don't, unless other people do. But he wanted everybody to pay more in tax. Washington State said nope. And it was put a ballot, a referendum. It got trounced, if I'm not mistaken. So they may not come back around that anytime soon, but I would not hold my breath if you don't see a referendum again in the state of Washington to raise income taxes. They thought about doing that a little bit in Tennessee. I remember when George Bush was a governor in Texas, they thought about that as well. And if memory serves, he was somewhat intrigued by that, reduce property taxes, raise income tax, but thankfully they did not do that. So in Tennessee, who's it, Haslam, somebody like that, they were thinking about it, and then that got put to the side by the legislature, which was good. But anyway, all these states are looking to raise revenue. And if they're looking to, just because you're in a state right now with no income tax, it doesn't matter to be like that forever. Just be advised. Secondly, if you move to a state like Tennessee to Georgia, Tennessee to Kentucky, Texas to Louisiana, Texas to Oklahoma, you need to know what the governor is doing in your state that you're going to move to. Now, the rest of us will be faced with potentially paying taxes on our IRA distributions. Now, be advised, many states have income deductions and exemptions for retirees that us working stiffs don't get. And take Georgia, for instance. In the state I live in, Georgia, even though everyone says Tennessee, state income tax free, so good, Georgia is actually preferable when it comes to taxation. And here's why. If you're over 65 years old in Georgia, you pay no tax on Social Security, and you pay no tax on the first $65,000 of retirement income distributions per person. None on Social Security, $130,000 of tax-free income for you between you and your spouse in the state of Georgia. That is a tax-free state. There's just no getting around that. Now, if you make more than that, you're going to pay tax. But the vast majority of Georgians do not make more than $130,000. I'll tell you that right now. So essentially, Georgia is an income tax-free state. However, not all states are like that. Massachusetts, had a guy on YouTube today just asking about Massachusetts. They tax all IRA distributions at a flat rate, 5.15. And so think about this. If you're a resident of Massachusetts, you take a $50,000 IRA distribution. You're going to pay $2,500 to the state and $11,000 to the feds if you're on the 22% tax bracket. And most likely, if you're taking a $50,000 IRA distribution, you're probably going to be in the 22% tax bracket, which means you're only going to net $36,500 on an IRA distribution of $50,000. That's a lot of money going out the window. Now, if you have the Roth IRA, it'd be tax-free, all spending money to you. Some states are more favorable to Massachusetts, some actually less so, believe it or not. It's up to you to figure out what your state is. But you can always go, I did if you're on this channel, you'll probably see it, but I did a 50 state by state episode. Each state has its own episode of taxes. We talk about property taxes, sales taxes, and income taxes in every single state in the union. So go to YouTube. Well, here, you're already on YouTube. So just go to the blog and you'll see, or the YouTube page, and you should say state taxes or something like that as a playlist, state taxes. So just look up your states right there. Or just type in, go to the search button, type in your state, Wyoming. Wyoming's pretty favorable. Do you know Hawaii's actually pretty favorable? I was surprised by that. You know what's not favorable? Minnesota, Nebraska, and Kansas. And Wisconsin. Those little states up there, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Kansas, not that favorable at all for retirees. Hawaii is very favorable. Delaware, very favorable. Now, it's not just state income tax we're talking about. I do look at sales, property, and state income tax. All right. And now I don't look at per the county. I didn't have enough time to look at each county or else I'd never be done. So you have to look at your county. Like in Fulton County, the state income or the state, the property taxes, the Fulton County property taxes here in Georgia are much higher than 3 miles to the west of me in Cherokee County. So you got to look at your county as well for your local sales and property tax. But I was surprised. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Kansas just not very friendly when it comes to retirees' taxes. Hawaii, Delaware jump out at me real nice. Virginia's another one. Georgia is on my top. I think I did a top 7. Georgia's in there. I think Hawaii. Texas was not, because property taxes in Texas are brutal. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head, a couple more I just can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember. So go to my 50 state by state, and you can see where the best states are from my perspective on taxes, property taxes, and sales tax. Don't just assume the states with no income tax are more favorable. They're not. Kentucky is one of the best. That's right. Kentucky is one of the best, even though the neighboring state to the south, Tennessee, has no state income tax, kind of like Georgia. Kentucky and Georgia sandwich Tennessee, but both Kentucky and Georgia are much more favorable than Tennessee when it comes to the entirety of the state taxes. Now, Tennessee is still pretty good. Don't get me wrong. Property tax are low. It's their sales tax that kills you. Sales tax, I think, is the second highest in the union. But if you had a Roth IRA, remember, it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter if you had a Roth IRA. All Roth distributions come out tax-free. All Roth distributions come out tax-free. So if you're in Georgia, for instance, and you're worried about the feds, it might not be a bad time to start taking Roth IRA distributions or conversions, doing some Roth IRA conversions once you hit the age of 65. That way, at least you have no state income tax on your Roth conversions. Not a bad thing. So remember, Roths are tax-free. IRA distributions are not. Now, IRA distributions can be tax-free depending on your state. Just cannot stress that enough. Lastly, every state, Kentucky just did they reduced their favorability quite a bit just with this tax law in April of 2018. So they did lower the amount of the exemptions. I think it was $45,000 per person. Now it's $35,000 per person. Still quite favorable. But you got to change. You got to look at what the tax law is doing in the state. Rhode Island just did a wonderful thing back in 2017, for instance, where they, if you have 401k, 403b, TSP, 401k, 403b, TSP, I'm missing one, whatever it was, is tax free as long as you're married, filing jointly with less than $100,000 of income, and $80,000 if you're single. But if you roll that puppy into an IRA, it's not tax-free. I mean, I'm telling you, Rhode Island, do not roll your 401k over to an IRA. If you're in the state of Maryland, do not roll your 401k over to an IRA. Utah had an odd one too. I forgot what it was. So if you're looking at retiring in Utah, I can't remember what it was. It wasn't IRAs. I think it was 401ks. I think they did not give you the exemption for 401ks that they did for IRAs. But I just remember Rhode Island and Maryland, do not roll over an 401k into an IRA if you can retire there. Utah was something I just forgot. But anyway, just keep that in the back of your mind and look at your state before you settle down there if you're thinking about moving to a state to retire, because you got to understand what the tax code is. And that's how you keep the governor out of your back pocket or out of your purse when it comes to retirement. All right, as always, if you like what you see here, don't forget to subscribe right there. Hit the bell to be notified for future content. Oh yeah, just again, I always want to say this. So I offered this free not too long ago, just last week, and I must have given out 150 copies of this. It was all via Amazon Kindle. But that was real good. I actually got a lot of headway or whatever it was from that. So I'm offering this. This is my first book right here. I'm offering this one for free for the next 5 days as well on Amazon. Now, this one is in color, and so it's a little bit more expensive for mailing it and whatnot, but it's my first book. It's great. It's not so much geared towards soon-to-be retirees. It's more to families, say, in the 30s and the 40s. And it's really based on getting out of debt. And you can see it's in color. To have this in color means it costs 4 times as much as this one, which is not in color. This is black and white. This is in color. It wasn't worth 4 times the cost just for the color, just to have some picture of these people. I mean, that's nice and all, but man, that's expensive. But lots of charts in here. And actually the first chapter is called Debt is the Enemy, because I absolutely believe that debt is what's going to set you back. And there's your first chapter right there. Debt is the enemy. And, like Dave Ramsey says, debt, you just got to get out of it. If you want to be financially free, you can't have debt. There's just no other way around that. I hear people all the time, well, I can leverage debt. And okay, go be my guest, but how come you're not going to borrow against 100% equity against your home and put in the stock market? No one does that because they know that's risky. Well, it's the same thing. Should I pay off my mortgage or should I invest in the market? That's the exact same scenario. You're leveraging your house for stock market growth. And, in paper, that sounds great. In reality, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. I mean, I'm sure there are a few people that be able to ride out the storms of the stock market going up and down. The vast majority of people, man, I'm telling you, if you have a chance to pay off your mortgage or invest, just think about it like this. Would you borrow against your home to invest in the stock market? If you would, then that's your answer. If you wouldn't, then that's your answer too. So anyway, book is free. Just go to Amazon.com and type in Josh Scanlon, and you'll see it there for the next, 5 days. And today's the 22nd, so it'll be available to the 27th. Okay, see you next time. Thanks, guys.